Today we're going to talk about bypassing a point with your alarm system. To bypass a point is to tell your system to temporarily ignore any signals they get from that point. For example, if you have a door that you want to be able to open and close while the rest of the system is still armed. Remember, if you tell your system to ignore the point, your system is slightly less secure than it was designed to be. So before you bypass a point, make sure you know what you're doing. If you need to now tell your system to start paying attention to that point again, we reverse the procedure and we call that unbypassing. So when you're ready to have that particular point active again, we'll unbypass that point. Sometimes your alarm company will set up a feature called force arm. For example, if you have frequent renovations, or if you have lots of points that you'll want to bypass at once at random, you'll have a feature called force arm. So that tells the system to ignore all the points that are currently open and faulted and to just arm whatever it can. Remember, if you do force arm, your system is partially unprotected, so be sure you know what you're doing before you force arm. So let's get started. There are two ways to bypass a point using the B930 keypad. For example, if I wanted to bypass point number 1, I will press Command 0. Command 0. If prompted by the system, I would enter my passcode, followed by Enter. Then I enter the point number I want to bypass, which, in our example, is point number 1. Press Enter. Press Bypass. Review to confirm that this is the point I did intend to bypass, which is point 1 in this example. Press Escape till I get to the home screen. You can also bypass and unbypass from the menu itself. This allows you to scroll through a list of points. Press the menu key to go to the main menu. Select the on-off menu. Select Bypass. Select Bypass Points. If prompted, enter your passcode, followed by Enter. Use the Next and Previous buttons to scroll through a list of points. When I reach the point I would like to bypass, in this case, point number 1, select Bypass, and then review to confirm that I've bypassed the correct points. Then hit the Escape menu until reaching the main screen. To unbypass, I press Command 00. Command 00. If prompted, I would enter my passcode. Then I would enter the point number I want to unbypass. In our example, point 1. Press Enter. Press Unbypass. Confirm that I unbypassed the correct point, and hit Escape until we get to the main menu. You can also bypass and unbypass from the menu itself. This allows you to scroll through a list of points. To unbypass, I select the menu, select the on-off menu, select Bypass, select Unbypass Points, use the Next and Previous buttons to scroll through a list of points, When I reach the point that I want to unbypass, I would select Unbypass. And I would confirm that I've unbypassed the correct point. Then I would hit the escape button until I get back to the main menu. To force arm, simply attempt to arm the system without waiting for the green check mark that indicates all points normal. So, arm is normal, passcode, and enter. The system will ask you to review the faulted points and then ask you to confirm if you really want to force arm. So, review the faulted points. Point 1 is faulted. And I would select force on. The system now begins the arming countdown.